All right, y'all. So it's the real DJ Red again, just doing a little shop work here. So I figured that I would do a video on it, being that this probably will consist of some things that the DJs might go through. Just this past weekend here, we did a sound job for Gym Class Heroes. And I was working this event with another guy that I called to help me out with big events. I'm helping him out with that one. As we were setting up the back line and plugging up a stringer. A stringer is a long extension cord with multiple boxes on there, like every 5 feet or so. We use those for the back line to plug up keyboards, lead guitar amp, bass rig, stuff like that there. I plugged it up, was no problem. Got ready to lay it out as far as where I needed the plugs at. We were in a tight space. The stage was very small, and the other guy that I was working with, Jason, was holding the stringer and was getting ready to hand it to me so I can lay it out behind the guitar amps, and something went to sparking. And I'm sure I knew what it was. I told him to freeze, don't move. I went on ahead and unplugged it. And let me show you here what I'm talking about. The work table is a little bit messy, so because I had already started working on it. This is a stringer. I'm gonna use this box for an example. Aside from this screw that I just took out, the screws right here in the metal tray, or the magnetic tray rather. Aside from that, see this? This is exactly how it was. Same thing here. The strength release for the wires are all loose. There's another one missing there. They're not missing, they're just not in place. These are, let me show you this one here. This one here is already done. I can grab that, shake it. That wire isn't going anywhere. You see how the metal clamps are holding down the wire on there for the strength relief? That's to keep you from pulling the wire out of the receptacle. Now I'm going to go through all of this and redo everything over for them. This one was already done, like I said. I'm going to go through all of them and straighten everything out. I'm also going to use these U-clamps here to put the wires in and to screw the wires down to the connectors down to the receptacle. Make sure everything is a tight fit. There's no wire that's hanging off and anything like that that can cause a spark or possibly even cause a fire. This didn't cause a fire, only reason because the breaker had tripped, and I already knew that was going to happen. Because the breaker tripped, once this was unplugged, I went on ahead and got another one. Went and plugged that one in, realized that the breaker had tripped, went inside the breaker room or the meter room or whatever. Found which one it was. It was a 20 amp breaker. When I flipped the switch back on, bam, and went to continue doing everything from there. If you have wires, custom wires, whether you bought it from someone or your local hardware store or whatever, it doesn't necessarily have to look like this. But if you have a break in a wire anywhere, a cut in a wire from someone closing a door on it or anything like that, do not use that wire. You can cause a fire, you can cause damage to your equipment. I've had someone close the door on one of my wires before. Matter of fact, let me grab that one and I can show you. Okay, so this used to be one of my good extension cords. It's a 50-foot 12-gauge cord. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to cut it or something. Let me see if I find this break. Oh, there we go. So I was at a school doing an event just a couple of weeks ago, right before school was out, and had to run the power cord inside. I was playing outside. I asked the people not to close the door on the cord because it would cut the cord. They said, okay, not a problem. I even went as far as putting a chair in the door. Lo and behold, someone comes by, moves the chair, close the door, and I didn't see it happen, but the music just cut off. I didn't know what happened. And by the time I look, I check all the cords, and I found this one. As you can see, the copper is exposed to it. And what they did was close the door on it. And once that door closed, it cut the cord. The power extension cord grounded out, tripped the breaker, and that was it. That was it for me. They tried to get me another extension cord for me to play with. It wasn't going to work because you have to reset that breaker. So again, I haven't used that cord since then. But if you see anything like this, where it's coming loose, you got a break in the wire, do not continue to use that wire. You can cause problems, major problems, not only to your equipment, but even to a venue that you're plugged up in. This here, most of this stuff here comes from neglect of maintaining your wires and your equipment. I'm very, very big on doing that almost every week. If I know, like this week I have a big event to do, I make sure I come in here throughout the week, little by little, check stuff, make sure, hey, this is working, that is working. You never know what could have went wrong from your last event, and you just went and packed up. A speaker could have blown. Once it cooled off, the voice cord could have came unwrapped or whatever, and now you got a blown speaker, and you show up to the next event, you don't have a speaker to play with. But that's why I'm constantly check all of my gear every week. Again, as you can see, I started taking this apart, but I'm going to go ahead and use these connectors here, run the wires into it, screw these onto the receptacles, and we shouldn't have no problems with that. This one is not mine. Mine is a lot neater than this, but I'm going to fix this up for him and get this back going so he can have this ready for the weekend. So again, just a little safety tip. If you have any breaks in your wires, it could even be an XLR wire going to your powered speakers. If you're using it in your amp rack on a passive system, if you're using it for a microphone, check all of that stuff. Get you a tester that can test the wires, XLR cables, RCA cables, Nutrix, whether it's NL4s, NL8, NL2, any one of those that you use on a regular. You need to have a tester or some type of way of testing it to make sure that you have good connection in it. All right, so there you have it. Again, just a little shop talk with you, and just a little something simple to keep and maintain your equipment. If you are using any quad boxes or any type of electrical boxes like this, and you have those type of strength reliefs on there, a little tip: if you're screwing the strength reliefs in, as far as into the box itself, you can put a little bit of clear fingernail polish on there, or Loctite to put that on there, and you won't have to worry about it back and back out. So simple. I've tried the nail polish before. For those of you that have ever opened up any electronics and you see like a little green paint or whatever that's around the screw area, most of the time the companies put those in so the screws won't back itself out. It's almost like putting glue on there. So again, you can use Loctite, you can use, I've seen people use fingernail polish. I tried it once before. I haven't had no need for it recently, but I've tried it a long time ago when someone told me about it, and that will work. So just a little tip to you guys. Again, maintain your equipment, be safe. Please make sure you hit the like button, give me a thumbs up. Also share and subscribe. Thanks to everyone that's been following me. and all of my new subscribers as well. I got more videos coming. I'm getting ready to do some real big stuff coming up in the next couple of weeks or so. So please stay tuned. Hit the thumbs up. Give me those likes, and leave your comments down below. And if you have any requests, I'll answer them as soon as I get a chance. Peace.